In this video, you will learn everything you need to know about event tracking in Google Analytics 4. Google Analytics 4 is event-based system. What that means is every action user takes on your website or app, or every interaction that happens in a website or app is tracked as event. There are 4 categories of events in Google Analytics 4. So I'm going to show you these events and how to set them up. But before we do that, make sure to hit the subscribe button on this channel. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let's go and take a look at these different categories of events. I'm also going to walk you through setting up event using Google Tag Manager. I've done a live session on this topic where I've shown how to set up Google Analytics 4 using Google Tag Manager. If you haven't checked it out, make sure to check it out on this channel. So if you're ready, let's get started. In Google Analytics 4, go over to All Events on your left-hand menu option. That's where you will see all the events that your site or app is currently tracking. As you can see on my screen, there are several events that are being tracked currently. I'm going to go step by step to tell you what these events are and how they get tracked. So as I mentioned, there are 4 categories of events that you can track in a site. First visit and session start are the 2 events that get automatically tracked. These events tell Google Analytics 4 if the user is a new user. If first visit event exists, that means it's a new user. And session start marks the start of the session. Using these 2 events, it knows how many visits are on the site and how many of those were new visits or new users. To track these events, you don't have to do any coding. They are automatically tracked and are required for Google Analytics 4 to work. Once you put the base tracking pixel of Google Analytics 4 on your site or app, these 2 events will automatically start to be tracked. In addition to these 2 events, there are certain other events that are called enhanced measurement events or enhanced measurement that get tracked by default by Google Analytics. However, those events can be turned off by you in the admin panel. So you can't turn off first visit and session start, but you can turn off the enhanced measurement events. And those events are click, file download, page view, scroll, video progress, video start, and view search results. Now I'm going to go to admin panel to provide you more information on these events and how to turn them off if you desire to do so. So let's go to admin panel, click on admin, and go into data stream. Click on the data stream, and this is where you can see the enhanced measurement events. Page views, scrolls, outbound clicks, site search, video engagement, and file downloads. To track these events in Universal Analytics, you either had to put some kind of JavaScript on your page or use Google Tag Manager. Page view was automatically tracked, but rest of the events required either Google Tag Manager or some on-page tracking. In Google Analytics 4, you don't have to do that. It's all done for you automatically. So when you create a new stream or new Google Analytics account and property, these events will automatically be tracked for you. This is where you can disable them if you would like to do so. But before I show you how you can disable them, let's talk about these events, what they are. Page view event captures the page view that the user viewed. All the events have certain parameters that are collected along with the event to provide more context to that event. In case of page views event, it has a page URL as well as the page name as those parameters. Scroll event gets triggered when user scrolls to the 90% of your page. Outbound clicks captures the clicks that are happening to links that are taking users to a page that's outside your domain. Site search captures on-site search activity. It tracks information such as how many searches are happening, what keywords people are searching, etc. Video engagement captures engagement of users with the YouTube video that's embedded on your site. So when user starts and user progresses through that video, those events are triggered. File download event captures the information about the files that are being downloaded from your site. As I mentioned before, all these events, except for the page view, required you to track them via a JavaScript on your page or Google Tag Manager. Google Tag Manager really made it very easy for you to track these things. If you are still using Universal Analytics and want to know how these things can be set up in Google Tag Manager, then check out the video that I have on Google Tag Manager on this channel. In order for you to disable or enable these events, click on this wheel and that opens up a page where you can toggle them on and off. You can't toggle off the page view event. When you toggle off an event and hit save, then that event will stop collecting the data. I'm going to go back and turn it back on. So click on wheel and turn it back on. Another thing that I want to highlight here is the advanced settings of site search. Click on show advanced settings. This is where you can define which query parameters on your website contains the keyword, on-site keyword. And these are some of the common ones which are already listed here. Don't worry if this does not make sense at this point. I am going to show you an example that will help clarify what this means. Go ahead and click on save, and you're collecting all the enhanced measurement events. If you want to turn all of them off, you can also do by clicking on this toggle button here. When you do that, you'll still be collecting standard page view data. However, everything else will be turned off. I don't want to do that, so I'm going to click cancel. So click on X, get out of here. Now go to your real-time reports. Real-time reports will start to show you those events as they get collected. So I'm going to go to the site, visit one or two pages, and then come back here to show you how this data is flowing. Scroll down, and this is where I have enabled few things that I can test, like video here. So when I play that video, that data will start to come in. Outbound link, download file link, as well as search example. But let's first go back to Google Analytics and see which events are being triggered, and then we'll come back and try these events. So I'm going to go back to Google Analytics. Here I'm in Google Analytics real-time reports. You can see there is one user. Scrolling down, this shows the pages that user has been viewing, homepage, and then the page that I just showed you, which has a bunch of links, which I'm going to walk you through in a few minutes. And then there are several events. As you can see, there is page view, scroll, session start, and user engagement. These are all the events that get tracked automatically. These are required for Google Analytics to work. Then you'll also notice there is video start event. This event is part of enhanced measurement events, which I will walk you through in a few minutes. So now I'm going to go back to the page and show you how enhanced measurement events work. Here I'm on a page that I have built specifically to showcase different events. This is a test page that I've created. On this page, I have an embedded video. This is a YouTube video. Once this video is played, it'll start to trigger events related to the video. Then I have outbound link examples. These two links will take you outside the domain that I'm on. These two will trigger events that will allow me to see outbound links. Similarly, I have another link. By clicking on it, a document will be downloaded. This will trigger a file download event and hence allow us to see which files are being downloaded from the site. And finally, I have an example of on-site search. Clicking on this will take me to a page which will simulate a search result, and hence that will be tracked as internal search. So I'm going to go click on all of these and then show you the events that get triggered. So let's play the video first. There's no voice, so I'm going to let it play. Now I'm going to click on this link. That takes me to my YouTube channel, which is outside the domain. I'm going to go back and click on the other link as well. That takes me to my blog. I'm going to go back and then click on download file example. That triggers a file download. Here's the file. And then finally, I'm going to click on search project managers to simulate on-site search. So click on it. So this is a sample search result page. The way internal search gets triggered is by setting a certain query parameters in your event configuration, which tell Google Analytics that internal search has been conducted. So generally that query parameter will only be available on the search result page. Let me show you what that query parameter looks like in this example. Here, I have the URL. This is my search result page. And this is the query parameter that contains the keyword that was searched. Presence of this query parameter in the URL triggers the internal search event. The value of this query parameter, which is the keyword that was searched, gets passed to that event as a parameter as well. So you can see which keywords were searched on your site. I have used S as my query parameter here, but you can have any query parameter that you desire. Generally, S, Q, query, keyword are the ones that are used for internal searches, and those are already configured in your admin panel. However, if you are using another query parameter, you can go ahead and set that up in your admin panel. Let me quickly go there and show you what I mean by that. So go to Google Analytics, go to admin, data stream, click on the data stream, click on this wheel, and here's site search. Click on show advanced setting, and this is where you set those parameters. So S is a parameter that I'm using, but if you're using something else, go ahead and enter that here. So I'm going to close this, and go back to now real-time reports. Scroll down, and you can see the various events that are fired. Page view, session start, and user engagement are automatically tracked. Part of enhanced measurement are click that tracks the outbound clicks. Not sure why they called it click. They should have called it outbound click. Then you have file download that tracks the files that are downloaded. Video start is the start of the video. And then go to the next page and you can see video progress that gets fired when the video crosses 10% mark, 25% mark, 50%, 75, and 100. And then view search results tracks the internal searches. So this is all about the enhanced measurement events. So far, we covered automatically tracked events and enhanced measurement events. In addition to those events, there are also recommended events that are specific to the business or vertical that you are trying to track. So let me show you what those events are. Here I'm in the Help Center of Google Analytics 4. Here you can get a list of all the recommended events. I will drop a link to this page in the comments of this video. If you look on your right-hand side, you have events for all properties. This is irrespective of the vertical or type of business you have. These events can be useful for you, such as earn virtual currency, join group, login, purchase, refund, etc. Then you have certain events that are specific to the type of site or app you have, retail or e-commerce. Let me walk you through what you're looking at here. You have an event name. This is the name that's recommended by Google. Here is a trigger. When should this event be fired? And what are the parameters that you should pass for this event? All these are recommended names and parameters. If you do not use the names that Google Analytics specifies here or pass these parameters, then you won't be able to realize the full benefits of Google Analytics 4 reporting and features. Even if your site or app does not strictly fall under this vertical, you can still use these names if they apply. For example, if you are a lead gen site, not really retail or e-commerce, you can still use generate lead event when a user submits a form or requests information. So site is not strictly retail or e-commerce, but this generate lead event applies to it. And I will walk you through this event in a few minutes. Go ahead and look through these events. Here you have retail and e-commerce, complete list here. If you are trying to do e-commerce tracking, then this is where you will get all the events that you need. If you want to learn more about e-commerce tracking or any of these events, then stay tuned as I will be creating more videos on various events and how they're used. Here are events for job, education, local deals, etc. And then you have for travel, hotel and air, and then games. I'm sure Google Analytics 4 will be adding more content to it. So if you see that list change, don't be alarmed. They are releasing more and more features and more recommended events. So keep an eye, make sure you follow the naming conventions, the parameters that you can pass for these events. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to walk you through and show you how you can track lead generation. There are two parameters that you can pass to this event, value and currency. If you do not pass currency, then it takes the default currency for your Google Analytics property. However, if you have a site that's running in multiple countries, you can pass the currency along with the generate lead event. If you have a particular situation where none of these events meet your needs, then you can also create custom events. The process of creating custom events is similar to the process of creating these recommended events. All right, let's go to Google Tag Manager and set generate lead event with two parameters, value and currency. The process that I'm going to show you will be exactly the same process that you will use for other events. Here, I'm in Google Tag Manager. I'm going to create a new tag. So click on add a new tag and let's call it generate lead because that's what we're doing. Tag configuration, click here and pick GA4 event. This is how you create Google Analytics 4 events. Next, you pick your Google Analytics property measurement ID. I already have that in my base tag, but I'm going to show you how to create that. So click on new tag, and this is where you put the measurement ID from your Google Analytics 4 property. In Google Analytics admin panel, click on data streams, pick your stream, and this is your measurement ID. That's what you need. You copy it from here and then go back to your Google Tag Manager and paste that here. Give your tag a name. I'm going to call it GA measurement ID. You can call whatever you want. Click on save. Then give your event a name. Remember, the event has to be exactly what Google recommends. So I'm going to type in generate lead. Make sure it's all lowercase because it's case sensitive. Let's go to Google Analytics, make sure the name is correct. Here, generate lead. I could have simply copied it from here. Now I need value and currency. So I'm going to go back to Google Tag Manager and then click on event parameters, add a new row. This is where I can give a parameter name. So type in value. Let's say each lead generation for me is worth $10. Now this could come from a variable, from your data layer. If you have several lead gen activities on your site and they all have different values, you can pick those by using variables. I'm not going to go through complete Google Tag Manager tutorial here. You can check out my Google Tag Manager course. That'll give you all the information that you need to become expert in Google Tag Manager. For now, I'm just going to use a value of 10. Then I'm also going to pass currency. And here I am going to pass USD. If I hadn't passed this, it would have defaulted to USD anyway. Once you're done, go ahead and click on Save. Now it's asking you to add trigger, so let's go ahead and add trigger. This is where you define which page or action on your site will fire that generate lead event. Generally, this is going to be your thank you page. And I do have a page on the site called thank you when somebody tries to contact us. So I'm going to click on plus to add a new trigger, and this will be thank you page. Click in the middle, pick page view, and then some page view where page URL contains thank you. Again, this could be a click of a button, any other page, any other condition that you want to track as a lead gen event. For me, if somebody goes to thank you page, that means they have submitted a form, and hence I want to track that as a lead gen event. Click on save, and now trigger is added. Go ahead and save it and submit. Lead gen event added. You have to give your version a name and any description that you want. Go ahead and publish it. Now this event is configured and live on the site. Now I'm going to go to the site, trigger that page, which will trigger this event, and then show you the event data in Google Analytics real-time reports. So let's go to the site. Here I'm on the site. Go to contact. This is the form. When I submit it, it will trigger the thank you page, which then will be tracked as an event. So I'm going to fill in information. And this is a test. Click on submit. That triggers the thank you page. Don't go by the looks of the site. It's about to change. But here, that's thank you page. So when this page loads, our generate lead event gets tracked. Remember our trigger condition? We said look for a page that contains thank you in the URL. When that condition is met, fire the generate lead event. Now I'm going to go to Google Analytics and show you this event in real-time reports. Here I'm in Google Analytics real-time reports. Scroll down and you can see generate lead events getting fired. That's the one we just created. That's how you create recommended events and custom events. All these events will eventually show up in all events report. This is where you'll see all the events that are being tracked on your site. In order to see the parameters that are being passed to that event, at this point, you can only see the values for events in last 30 minutes. In our example, we can click on generate lead to see what parameters are being passed for that event. Clicking on generate lead will take us to a view where you can see the event count and events in last 30 minutes. So here you have the currency parameter. The value is USD. Click here and you can see other parameters that are being passed as well. Currency and value are the ones that we set up, and rest others are tracked automatically. So certain parameters are tracked automatically for these events. Click on value and you can see the value that we set. So if you want to see what parameters are being captured for all these events, go back to all events, pick the event, and if that event was triggered in last 30 minutes, then you will be able to see the parameter values. For other events, you will have to send the data over to BigQuery and see the values there. I'm sure in future, Google Analytics is going to release reports that will give you more insights into these events and the parameters that are being sent for those events. So that's all about tracking events in Google Analytics 4. Definitely there are a lot of nuances when you start to collect individual events. However, this should give you a great foundation and understanding of how to start tracking these events using Google Tag Manager. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I want to hear back from you. If you have any comments on the video or have any questions, then please make sure to leave a comment below. I check all the comments and will respond to you shortly. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.